How we doing, folks? Your host Moose here on the Pitt Panthers Football Network as we welcome you back to Heinz Field, the season opener of the 2020 Pitt football season, as Pitt gets set to host the University of Connecticut Huskies here at Heinz Field. Their season opener. It should be a fantastic matchup. UConn, of course, a former Big East Conference rival of the Panthers. The two teams will meet again this year as the Pitt Panthers look to get their season off in winning fashion, and we'll take you out to the opening kickoff, Pitt UConn, on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. And the Panthers will receive Kaiser Artis-Scott, the senior cornerback, set to return and get things underway. And he's out to about the 20-yard line, 25, taken down at about the 28 or 29. A great return. And Kenny Pickett, not shown on the screen there, but Kenny Pickett, the Panthers' senior quarterback, will lead them out onto the field, looking to have his best season yet for the Panthers and hopefully get them over the hump. Of course, the Panthers have won the last two ACC titles, made the conference the college football playoff both years, but been knocked out in the semifinals. Both times they'll look to exceed that and potentially win a national title this year, though they've seen a lot of turnover on the roster from last season. One guy who is still here, Jay Keys, the sophomore, coming off a 77 reception, 1,000-yard season as a true freshman, and he gets his first catch of the year as the Panthers move the football here on their opening drive. It's going to be Paul Lease, the junior receiver, takes the jet sweep there for a gain of about 3, and the Panthers will face 3rd and 2 now. 5 wide set for Pickett. We know the Panthers love this passing approach, and they try and find Caleb Cannon, the redshirt junior tight end, but the pass was knocked away, and UConn will take over, being led by Dana DeMel, coaching his first game here for the Huskies. Of course, DeMel was Kansas State's defensive coordinator for a long time, or offensive coordinator, for a long time recently, but Bill Snyder just continuing to decide that he wants to be the head coach at Kansas State, so DeMel took the UConn job, and things don't get off to a great start for UConn. Sean Wolfgang, the Panthers' senior defensive end, gets the sack to open the season. You see the graphic on the screen there as he is chasing history. We know Wolfgang, 34 career sacks now, chasing Hugh Green's Pitt record of 49 and the NCAA record, which is currently held at about 44 or 45. Terrell Suggs had 44 in this particular dynastic universe. But UConn on 3rd and 11, great first down. That's David Coleman taking the screen pass. He's the starting halfback for the Huskies, getting his first action after sitting out a year. He transferred. He was a guy that Pitt was very interested in a few years ago when they actually signed C.J. London. He was in that same recruiting class. He decided to sign with Ohio State. Pitt was his number 2, but after 1 year as a freshman, he decided to transfer closer to home to UConn, and he's now emerged as their starting halfback. And Coleman does take it up, and he is off to a great start in his first collegiate action. Goes for 18 that time before he is knifed down by Panthers' new starting free safety, Jacob Lachlan. 2nd and 7 for the Huskies as they're moving the ball well, and that's going to be Scott Whaley coming off the edge. The freshman from Florida, grew up a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, because of the fact of that, he wears number 43 in recognition of Troy Polamalu, his favorite player and idol growing up, and he looked like Polamalu coming off the edge there, forcing a sack, and Pitt gets another one. That's going to be Sean Wolfgang on 3rd down, his 35th career sack and 2nd of the day, and that's going to force 4th and 21 for the Huskies. They do have a very good field goal kicker, though, so it's just on the edge of his range, and they are going to try and go for a 57-yarder, and Anderson's kick is up, and it is no good, or Robinson, his kick is up, and it is no good, and so the Panthers will take over in good field position at about their own 41-yard line. The handoff will go to Todd Sibley, makes a juke to get around a defender and picks up a good chunk of yards there, gain of 10. The Panthers' rushing attack is going to be one area where we're really going to pay attention this year because it struggled for a majority of last season and could never consistently put up results. But they're moving the ball here well. That's Jay Keys, takes the ball on a drag route and picks up a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1. The Panthers will go 5 wide here on the short yardage set, and Pickett throws kind of a little flare route to KJ Welsh. That's the true freshman out of Phoenixville, PA. fantastic talent for Welsh. He's got good speed, big body. He's a great route runner, so expecting to see him used a lot in the offense this year. And this is going to be CJ London out wide. Great block on the edge by tight end Antonio Greer. And London is off to the races, pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. 27-yard rush for London. He's the quicker of the Panthers' top two backs. Sibley's a bit more of a power runner. They're both in the game now as Pickett goes play action, but he's going to be sacked, brought down for a loss of 9. That's Brad Robinson, who's able to bring down Kenny Pickett. It's going to be second and a very long goal. 4 wide set for Kenny. He's back, looks for a man. It's Jay Keys, but it's deflected away. That's Taj Herring, the All-American cornerback, who's able to jump forward and knock the football away. So 3rd and goal now for the Panthers. 5 wide for Pickett. He's back, plenty of time, looks, finds a man. It's Keys, and he's into the end zone for the first touchdown of the season. Jay Keys has unlocked the end zone for the Panthers, and they'll take a 7-0 lead. Great job by Pickett. Very good coverage. He's able to, or very good protection. Pickett sits in the pocket just long enough to wait for Keys to come open over the middle, threads the needle into him. He hauls it in and fights his way into the end zone, and Pitt has their first touchdown of the season and takes a 7-0 lead. It's going to be Ben Johnson, the sophomore quarterback, who decides to keep it this time, goes for a gain of 4, and so UConn on their ensuing possession will now be facing 3rd and 6. Johnson back to pass. He's going to scramble, try and find room up the middle. Nowhere to go, though. That's going to be a sack. Chase Pine brings him down near the line of scrimmage. The redshirt senior middle linebacker who's taking over as the starter this season gets the sack, and so Pitt will take over with the football, and Todd Sibley's going to churn forward for a gain of about 4. 3rd and 4 now for Pitt. Pickett's got 2 tight ends to the right. He's under center. He's back, looks over the middle, has a man. It's Jay Bomer, the tight end who redshirted last year because Pitt had 4 sophomore tight ends, so they wanted a bit of separation. So Bomer's a redshirt sophomore now. He drops the pass, though, and UConn will take over, and Johnson leveled in the backfield. That's Sean Wolfgang again. He's off to a stellar start to his senior campaign, and so Pitt will take us into the end of the first quarter, leading UConn 7-0 on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. UConn facing 3rd and 14 now after that big loss to open up the second quarter. Johnson's back to pass. Plenty of time. He looks underneath, but that's Scott Whaley making his impact felt yet again. He's playing as the nickel corner for the Panthers. He knocks the football away, and so UConn will punt it, and that's going to be Tyquan Sutton, the 5-star recruit out of Texas, who's getting an opportunity to play as Pitt's dime corner and punt returner. He's taken down there, shaken up a bit on his first career punt return, and so Pitt will start with the ball now. It's going to be CJ London. His second carry of the game goes for just a single yard, and some injury news coming from the sideline. Sutton has a bruised shoulder. He's questionable to return for the remainder of this contest. 3rd and 9 for the Panthers. Benjamin Ogden in motion. Pickett back to pass. Has Ogden, but he just overthrows his man. Good coverage underneath by Taj Herring in pursuit, and Pickett misfires, and so UConn will retake the football. It's going to be a screen here on their first play. It's David Coleman out into space, fights through a tackler before he's pushed out of bounds after a gain of 10 that takes them very close to a first down. 2nd inches now. It's Coleman up the middle. Great blocking. He fights through 1, 2, 3 tackles before he's finally hauled down. That Sean Wolfgang in pursuit, who chased him from the line of scrimmage. Big gain for Coleman, who's been rumbling well for UConn so far this game. They go read option, and Johnson keeps it himself. Jacob Laughlin drags him down from behind, but a good pickup of 6. And UConn moving the football on the ground today. Triple option this time as Laughlin pitches it out. It's going to be Jakevius Vickers, who's going to be hauled down by Avery Heller, the true sophomore, now starting at strong safety after the departure of Jazzy Stalker. Brings him down short of the first down, and on 3rd down, a big drop by the receiver Clark, and so UConn will be forced to settle for about a 49-yard field goal. That kick, though, is no problem for Robinson. It's up, and it is good, and UConn on the board, their first score of the season. Pitt's advantage now 7-3. KJ Welsh taking a bubble screen here for the Panthers, goes for about 4, so short gains so far for the freshman. We see a new formation for Pitt, kind of a bunch heavy set with Jay Keys running a wildcat. He's going to give it to Benjamin Ogden on a jet sweep there. Gain of 3 as he cuts up the middle. 3rd and 3 now for the Panthers. Few new wrinkles here in Mark Whipple's offense after Pitt was able to, use it for a season-based design. Now they're able to throw in some wrinkles here to try and get the most out of their offense as they go for a first down. That's CJ London catching the pass. Jet sweep now. It's KJ Welsh up the middle, and this is the kind of big plays we were expecting out of the true freshman. He's able to come across, take the handoff, finds the the hole up the middle, goes for 18. Good run by the freshman. Pickett now finds his man. That's Paul Lease, who's taking over in sort of the Maurice French possession speed receiver role, while Jay Keys is the big body outside type who's gained favorable comparisons to Larry Fitzgerald on the season. And CJ London doing his absolute best to try and win the starting halfback position. Another big carry to the outside for him, and Pitt nearing the red zone. Pickett back to pass. Looks, has a man over the middle, and he just misses yet again. Kenny just shaking that rust off here in the opening game of the season. 3rd and 10, it's a 5-wide set for the Panthers. Pickett making some changes at the line is the senior. He's got a man out wide. That's KJ Welsh, who tries to fight forward, but he takes a big hit and is stopped just short of first down yardage. So Jay Bump, the senior, will come out for his first field goal attempt of the season. It's up and good, and the Panthers lead 10-3. An upset alert around the country. Number 6 Auburn, led by quarterback Woody Barrett and Stephen Davis Jr., 2 guys who we thought had potential Heisman aspirations, but the Tigers currently losing to the Missouri Tigers in an early SEC battle over on the SEC network. And you can see Chris McCoy is able to take an out pattern there on the pass from Johnson. Sets up 3rd and 2 now for UConn, and it's going to be a handoff. It's David Coleman. He's got some great blocking, fights his way through a tackle. Eventually, Barry Jordan and Chase Pine, the senior linebackers, combined to bring him down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a delay handoff to Coleman now. Great blocking, and he finds the hole. He's doing a great job of finding this, they're getting a great job of sealing blocks and allowing Coleman to pick his way through and find the hole. He's not got explosive speed, but he's similar to a Le'Veon Bell, where he just can find the holes, and it really helps when you have some guys who either can't tackle you or completely miss. Jacob Lachlan completely whiffed on the tackle. Coleman fought through a couple others. That's another 20-plus yard gain. And UConn right now in scoring range. Coleman's brought down after a gain of 5 on 1st and goal. So 2nd and goal now for the Huskies. He's the sidecar to Johnson now. Tight end to the left. They're going to run that way. It's an option pitch to Coleman, and he's going to walk in untouched. And just like that, UConn completely shocking the Panthers, who had one of, if not the best rush defenses in the country last season. David Coleman has been shredding them on the ground, and UConn has tied the game. Kaiser Artiscotto on the ensuing kick return. He's found a lane to the outside. He's up over the 45, pirouettes his way to about the 50, and that's the big play type of atmosphere the Panthers were looking from their return game, and why they're using the speedy Artis Scott. But that's going to negate a good portion of the return, as Pickett is sacked for a loss of 10, and so it'll be 2nd and 20 as the clock winds down on the opening half of football here at Heinz Field. Pickett, great throw there as he leads Jay Keys, who escapes the coverage of Taj Herring for a gain of 13. 3rd and 7 for Pitt now. Pickett back to pass. Has time. Looks out wide for Keys again, but it's intercepted. That's Joe Sapp. Undercuts the route. And Pickett, this is an area where he needs to improve, is just his choices and his decision-making on the field. Keys didn't have much of a step, and it was underthrown. He was looking for his favorite target, and just like that, UConn takes over with the football near midfield with an opportunity to try and take their first lead of the game, but Jacob Lachlan is able to get into the hole there and shut Coleman down. So 2nd and 13, Johnson back to pass. He's going to scramble, and no way is he going to escape the Panthers. Scott Whaley again, his 2nd sack of the day. What an impact this freshman is making on the Panthers defensive floor. A ton of youngsters taking the field for Pitt and making an impact. That's going to be sophomore defensive end. We said he was going to play as defensive tackle a lot this season. That's Malachi Bordeaux making the tackle, and so Pitt will have one more opportunity to try and get down the field. It's Paul Lease over the middle on first down for a gain of 6. Pitt does still have a timeout. They used their final one, though, to set up 3rd and 4 with about 20 seconds to go. Pickett rolling to the right. Looks underneath. It's Lease again, and he is leveled by Herring at the first down marker. Can't hold on to the football. And so UConn with one final opportunity to get into scoring range. And there's a great throw. It's going to be David Coleman. He's been an outlet, both running the football as well as catching the ball out of the backfield. Great 20-yard gain. And so Adam Robinson, a chance for another 57-yarder. Looks like it has the distance, but it's just right. And so after another missed field goal, we'll go into halftime. Your Pitt Panthers tied, shockingly, with the UConn Huskies. We just expected to say they were leading, but they're tied with UConn 10-10 at the end of the opening half of football here as we've opened the football season. And look at the yardage. Pitt outgaining UConn by a single yard. Time of possession's basically equal, so the Panthers really need to lock things down if they want to come away with a victory here and not get upset in their season opener. So we welcome you back for the second half of football from Heinz Field on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. Pitt surprisingly locked in a deadlock with UConn right now, and David Coleman doing his absolute best to come away with a victory here as he takes on the team that he spurned in the recruiting cycle 3 seasons ago. 3rd and 10. It's going to be Ben Johnson. Back to pass. He's got a man. That's Chad Clark hanging on to the football, this time for a gain of 13 and a UConn first down at their own 38. Motion from the tight end, Jay Rose. Hand off to Coleman outside. Great blocking, and he fights his way forward for a solid gain of 8. He seems to pick up 7 or 8 on every single carry, and they're going to go with him again here up the middle. Gets hit by Barry Jenkins, but fights his way through a couple of tackles and keeps those legs pumping for a gain of 5 and a first down to midfield. It's going to be Coleman up the middle again, and he has got all sorts of room to run. That's a parting of the seas, and Jason Jordan is able to save a touchdown after Coleman rumbles for 30 yards. He's up to 165 yards just 2 minutes into the second half. Incredible. Johnson goes airborne over a fallen Panther before he's gang tackled. Damian Vector leading the charge to bring him down, so it's going to be 2nd and 3 now for the Huskies. Johnson hands up the middle to Coleman again. He runs into a swarm of Panthers, but he has 7 and a first down to about the 6-yard line. UConn looking ready to strike yet again. It's going to be Coleman. He's going to be hit. The ball's out. Avery Heller recovers it, and Pitt plays takeaway, and it's that man again, Sean Wolfgang, with another gigantic play. Not only does he have a couple sacks on the day, but he jars the football loose as UConn was about to sneak into the end zone. Pitt takes over. Avery Heller was Johnny on the spot, recovered the football, and so the Panthers are able to at least keep things all square for now, but they're hit by the injury bug yet again. Antonio Greer this time has to be helped off the field, and so Jay Ballmer will take over at tight end. Pickett decides to keep himself on 3rd down, gets just enough with the read option to pick up first down yardage for the Panthers. CJ London now in at tailback for Pitt. It's going to be a handoff to him on a sweep to the right. He's taken down after a gain of 4, and now London is a bit gimpy here and has to be helped off of the field. So the Panthers are just going down like flies right now as they face 3rd and 6. Pickett back to pass. Has a man. That's KJ Welch, the true freshman, over the middle, the 5-star recruit, making some 5-star plays for Pitt right now. Big gain and gets first down yardage here midway through the 3rd. 5 wide for Pickett again. He's back. Good protection from the Panthers. He's got Caleb Cannon, who we said was going to be used in a very similar role to a Rob Gronkowski type, as he's split out wide, makes a catch for a first down. And we do have an injury report from the sideline. CJ London with a back injury will not return to this football game and will be evaluated this upcoming week as to his availability going forward. Panthers are stopped here in UConn territory, but Jay Bump is able to stride onto the field, make another nice kick right down the middle, splits the uprights, and so the Panthers retake the advantage 13-10 over a UConn team that is moving the football well, and they continue to do so. David Coleman right up the middle. Jacob Lachlan went right past him as if there was a force field around Coleman. Incredible run, picks up 20 more, but he's not getting anything there. Jason Jordan is able to slice into the backfield and bring him down for a loss, and after a false start penalty, UConn now facing a 2nd and 18. Split back look. Johnson tries to scramble, and he's got nowhere to go. That's defensive tackle Darren Toth, the senior out of Altoona, brings him down, and it's going to be 3rd and 22. UConn just goes with the draw. Coleman fights through 1 tackle, but nowhere to go. UConn forced to punt the football away, and we're getting word that Antonio Greer, the tight end, will not return to this game either. He's been evaluated for a concussion, and so his status has changed to out. Todd Sibley with a nice catch on the halfback streak out of the backfield and picks up a first down for Pitt. Pickett back to pass here in the shotgun. He's going deep. He's got a man. Jay Keys turns around, makes a great catch. This is the deep threat we know he offers, and so Pitt with a big gain as they try to extend their advantage. The fans put the 4s up. Pitt looking for a convincing 4th quarter performance to emerge victorious here on the Pitt Panthers Football Network. So Pitt leading UConn 13-10, but driving in UConn territory at the 28. It's a handoff to Todd Sibley to open the 4th quarter. Nice little stutter step to get around one UConn defender and pick up a good solid gain of 8 to set up 2nd and 2. Pickett decides to keep it himself on a read option this time. Goes up the middle for a nice gain of 7 before being dragged down, and so the Panthers have a first down. Cannon goes in motion now. 2 tight ends says he goes to the right. It's a handoff. It's Todd Sibley. Great blocking on the edge. Sibley's got space to the 5. He leaps. He dives. He's into the end zone. And Pitt takes a 2-possession advantage now after Sibley gets into the end zone. A great carry by the Panthers. They've exploited that run to the right on a couple of occasions today, and they will take a 20-10 lead just as Missouri is on the verge of knocking off number 6 Auburn. 4-point lead for the Tigers with just over a minute to play. Pitt looking to hold off an incredible effort from David Coleman, 190 yards rushing here as we're early in the fourth quarter. Johnson, though, dumps it out wide. That's his tight end, Jay Rose, hauls that 9-yard pickup. 2nd and 1 now for the Huskies, and they do send a tight end in motion. Coleman is behind Johnson, takes a handoff up the middle, and he's got another gigantic hole to run through. It's a parting of the Red Sea, or a parting of the Blue Sea, as UConn completely pushes the Panthers out of the way, and Coleman goes for another gigantic gain. Triple option for Johnson as he pitches out wide to Coleman yet again. Fantastic play design by the Huskies, and Coleman was nearly off to the races, dragged down by Laughlin after a pickup of 17. So the Huskies in the red zone here looking to cut the Pitt lead, but Scott Whaley does a great job reading that play and bringing down Johnson in the backfield. He's made a big impact for the Panthers coming off the edge. 3rd and 11 now. Johnson setting up a screen. It's Coleman. Laughlin swing and a miss yet again, but Barry Jenkins is able to catch him in pursuit. The senior from Washington, D.C. makes the tackle, and UConn decides to go for it on 4th and 5 rather than take the points. Johnson tries to scamper away from the pressure, and Laughlin is able to meet him about a yard short of the first down, and it's going to be a clipping call on UConn. Pitt will decline it, and they're going to take the football over on downs. Huge stop by the Pitt defense yet again as UConn was in the red zone. Pickett rolling out now on 2nd and 11. Chucks it. He's got Paul Lease, a good throw. Nice little stutter step by the junior to haul that in near the sideline, and Pitt moves the chains. Sibley takes a handoff up the middle this time on 1st down. Nice gain of 9. Sibley's done a nice job rushing the football. He doesn't have the 2 20-plus yarders like London does, but he's done a nice job just picking up solid 7, 8, 9 yard. He's got a couple of 10-yard gains as well as that 13-yard touchdown carry. Keys subs in the Wildcat package, and he's going to hand off. It's Tyquan Sutton. We are seeing him on both sides of the football today. He's featured in the dime sets for the Panthers, and he does take a handoff there. Picks up a gain of 3 to set up a 3rd down. Pickett's got him in. That's Keith Onyango, the redshirt freshman. His first career catch goes for a gain of 8, and the Panthers are able to move the chains just past midfield. Pickett looks again. He's got Onyango, who hauls that in for a short gain. 2nd career catch. Good to see the redshirt freshman out of Florida, Cardinal Gibbons High School, making an impact. Pickett, play action on 3rd down, rolls out to the right, looking deep to Jay Keys. UConn converges on him. It's a great defensive play. Keys had it in his hands, but couldn't hang on through the pressure, and so Pitt's forced to punt the ball away, and UConn will have maybe one final opportunity to cut this to a 1-score game. Johnson, plenty of time to throw. Great coverage by the Panthers downfield, and he's eventually dragged down. That's freshman Ryan Jacobs, the defensive tackle, coming forward to make the tackle. 3rd and 8. It's going to be Coleman on a screen, and he's got blockers ahead of him. Plenty of room to run before he's forced down by Avery Heller, but does have 1st down yardage to keep things moving for the Huskies. Johnson back to pass. Good blocking. Plenty of time. He's going deep, and he outthrows everybody. Overthrows his receiver by a good 5 or 10 yards, and so UConn now running out of time. A minute to play. 3rd and 4. Johnson back to pass. The Panthers rush 4. Has a man out wide, and he finds him. Great reception. Chad Clark hauls that in, gain of 15, and UConn into Pitt territory. Yet again, they just haven't been able to find the end zone on those times when they've created the opportunities. Coleman stopped for a loss of 2 as he tries to go up the middle. UConn now needing a 1st down. 3rd and 12. Johnson back to pass. They set up a screen with Coleman. It's read perfectly by Avery Heller. The sophomore breaks into the backfield, knifes Coleman down. It's going to be 4th and very long. And UConn, I don't know, maybe they're trying to catch Pitt off guard here, but they run a draw up the middle, and of course it had to be that man, Sean Wolfgang. His 9th tackle of the game brings Coleman down for the final stop, and Pitt will hang on to emerge victorious, probably much closer than a lot of people anticipated. UConn running the football almost at will, but they just couldn't get the big splash plays when they needed to. Pitt methodically was able to get 10 points in the second half and hold UConn scoreless. And, I mean, that's just what winning football teams do. When things aren't going your way and you're not having the confidence that you like to show. You just find a way to get the job done and come away with the win. And Pitt did just that here in their home opener. 20-10, the victory over UConn. Your Pitt Panthers go to 1-0 on the season, and we thank you so much for tuning in here on the Pitt Panthers Football Network, and we're excited for another great season of Pitt football. Hail to Pitt. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.